and a lot more coming right up. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Black Spring with Autumn on your Monday. Hope you guys are doing well. And I'm just going to take a brief moment to say thank you to our loyal patrons, subscribers, of course, the viewers like yourself, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. All right, thank you so much for joining me on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. And I would like to say hello to the chat room. And we'll start with Derek C. Williams. He is first in the chat. And with a rebuttaled, no, I'm first from Joseph Francis Burton. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And Derek comes in with about to eat dinner, but still, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Derek C. Williams says, banned, canceling, thrown to the wayside. It's relative. Yes. Yeah. So, I'm kind of using the term with, I guess it's kind of a loose term, but we've had quite a few trending things. We've had some things trending for a while, but I think they're starting to, get a little traction via iTunes or whatnot. So I'll tell you, if you're not familiar with that three-word phrase, we'll bring you up to date on that. And it starts with "Let's go, Brandon." We have something on that from our friends to the north, as well as looks like it was walkout day. There was a statewide school walkout, I think, staged by different groups protesting the Newsom's mandates. Some people call it noodles, whatever you prefer. That was today, so we'll do a little bit of a follow-up on that. And then also there appears to be, it looks like the science and technology departments of this current administration, or dare I say, I guess these are members of maybe some branch of the cabinet that have plans for they say that America needs a Bill of Rights for the AI. America needs an AI Bill of Rights. Making AI, I don't know, what do you think that means? Making AI more woke, making it woke again? Or do you think it's more or less they are establishing guidelines to transition to either, a social credit system, or I don't know, more tyranny? I don't know. You decide. We'll go there. But first, we're going to ring the bell and bring school back in. And we'll start there. And I have some memes for you today. So that is the inspiration for this particular graphic that you see. You have the band with the X over the front. So I'm going to do a couple comments, and then we'll get going right away. And Derek C. Williams says, got to make that right turn in Albuquerque. And Derek C. Williams says, also, The Hill did a very good interview. The planet is protesting, but looking at American media, you never know it. And Rachel Van Ziel is here. How are you, Rachel? She says, well, they are citizens in certain places, and Sophia wants a baby. Yes. We talked about Sophia. We talked about that on, I think it was 2 streams ago. And I'm just thinking, she's getting she's getting a lot of traction in places that I think she doesn't belong. And I'm thinking, what's next for her? Is she going to be is she going to be part of the cabinet, of the UN, or is she going to be able to run for office? What is it next for her? If she's got the citizenship out of, what is it, the Saudi Arabian citizenship, or this, whatever the origin is, I'm a little bit off on that right now. Or will she be a global citizen, and then she'll have more rights than even we do here? So I'm just saying, I just think we're at this is a slippery slope that we're dealing with. And she's already serving on, she's lecturer, or she's got some significant influence already, and more than she should, more than many people do. So I'm just saying, I asked that question. Did you guys think she'd be able to, this would enable her to serve or run for a political office, dare I say, here in the States? Who knows? But let's get going here. So by now, of course, you guys are familiar with, let's just say you're familiar with the Let's Go Brandon trend, but it looks like it's being banned already. So we're going to go ahead and take you there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. And Derek C. Williams says, I can't see man transcending if MSN is flawed. And he is what maniac say for Ray Kurzweil, who roll the dice and download their consciousness into a machine man-made. And that's why I'm saying, like, someone is responsible for the programming or the information. And that's why I want to bring in the other piece, the AI Bill of Rights. I mean, can you guys imagine, you have people right now that have issues with our Bill of Rights, our current Bill of Rights. So what do you trust them to do an AI Bill of Rights? I mean, what would it be used for? So I'm going to keep going here. And I'm going to take you over to we'll go to the trending. I do believe that the Let's Go Brandon is trending on iTunes, or at least it has been. But we have a little bit of objection here from our friends to the north. And I do have a meme for you. So just hang in there and I'll get right to it. But I'm going to show you this first. I'll try to zoom this in. We have a couple of, I know in these times, you got to laugh. We're available. So I have a couple of DT, and that would be on Black Spring with Autumn. That's either domestic terrorist or it's Donald Trump reference. So I'm gonna give you both of those. I'll make references to both of those. We'll start with this one. So I'm going to share this screen with you. If I can enlarge it for you, I will do so. So let me know if it works for you. If it doesn't, let me know, and I will try to work it out. Thank you so much. And it's DJ Vision Barnett. Hi, DJ. How are you? It's been a lifetime. How are you doing? Okay, so here we go. All right, I'm not sure if you can see this, but I'm going to try to read this out loud for you. And our friends to the north, apparently, this is like, the Prime Minister of Canada, of course, yours truly. All right, so I'm going to zoom this in. You may not be able to see it, but I'll go ahead and give it to you right now. All right, according to this is entitled, I tried to zoom in here, so I can't tell you that the quality is great, but let's go with it. Okay, so Chairman Trudeau. Okay, good day. It says, this is a formal notification that all government correspondence must be professional in nature and approved by department heads. When applicable, all correspondence must be vetted by the PMO for framing and message prior to public disclosure or internal distribution. Okay, it's blotted out here. It says further, splat, signature, block salutations must be approved messaging and provided in bilingual format as designated by the regional guidelines. 1A, one little a, the uses of colloquialisms or sayings with intended double meaning or offense are strictly prohibited in all means of correspondence and or communication. 1 little b, specifically the use of the words, quote, Let's go, Brandon, end quote. And any variation thereof, under any circumstance, is banned by the Canadian Public Service. Please contact your department heads for the applicable writing references. We have been informed that this will be this will be zero tolerance issue within the management structure. This position is fully supported by the leadership of the PSAC. Violation of this policy will be grounds for immediate dismissal without recourse or labor union representation. So sincerely, person's name's been blotted out here. But I just thought, I kind of grabbed this. I grabbed it offline. The authenticity of this, I'm not quite sure I can get the letterhead or verify the watermark from my end. But I thought it was interesting that Canada is banning Let's Go Brandon in their communication. And who knows what else they're doing. Thank you so much for coming in. Callie Unknown is here. Nice to see you. So thank you guys so much. So while we're on bans, why don't we go to another? We're going to throw a little bit more caution to the wind. I have something I thought you might find interesting in the supply chains and the demands and, the media giving you what they want you to have on that piece. I thought I'd bring you a meme from that. Before I do, I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hello to Callie Unknown. Thank you so much. And a comment from Rachel. And she says, hey, if you have 2 weeks worth of food, they say you are a DT. Fun fact. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Rachel. That is a fun fact. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go with our next. Don't yell shark. You're not allowed to yell shark, and you're not allowed to yell fire. But I bet I can tell you who is allowed. The elite can do that whenever they want, however they want. Hello to Miss Latin Patriot. Thank you so much for coming in. So I'll be right with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So let's go to that meme. Now, this is going to be a DT meme, by the way, if you can't tell. So I'm going to share this with you. I hope I have audio. Give me a 5x5 if it's all good. If it's not, I will work it out. So it's pretty good. Pretty good, I must say, but I'll let you be the judge. Okay. So what we have here, I'm hoping that I can pull this one off for you. This is Trump in the supermarket. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll be right back with you. Okay, I'm having a little bit of an issue with this one, but it looks like we've got a meme here, a Trump in the supermarket, and he's commenting on the bare shelves. And every now and then we have to do a little bit of satire here and there. Just a little bit to lighten the load. But I may be able to get this audio together for you in just a second. But in the meantime, I do have another meme, which it could very well be banned as well. But I'm going to bring that one to you, and I think this one should do you a little bit better than this one. So thank you guys so much for your patience, and I will be right back. Be right back. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming in. So I will tell you, this particular meme comes out of TikTok, and I'm not sure if YouTube has an issue with TikTok, that kind of a bit, but I'd like to share this one with you. Let's see. it doesn't. I think that could be the issue there, but these are all very good. So I'm gonna actually I'll put those in the stream for you in just a little bit, but we'll keep going here. Today we do have the school walkout in SoCal, so we're gonna go ahead and take you to that, and I'll catch up with the memes as soon as I work that out. Thank you so much. And it looks like Latin Patriot has something to share with you there. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. So let's go over to the school walkout and we'll have some audio from that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And again, give me the 5 by 5 if if everything is all good. Okay, so this is what you have. It's going to be from a local source on this one. Okay, so according to this comes out of abc7.com. Parents, teachers protest against students' mocktail mandate across Southern California. And let's see, never mind. We have some 4x4 action there. Okay, so we have, according to this, San Dimas, California, parents, teachers, and some children took part in a series of protests across Southern California Monday as part of a statewide pushback against California's mocktail mandates for students. Organizers called for parents to keep their children home or pull them from class as a form of protest against Governor Gavin Newsom's CV mocktail mandate. Outside the Bonita Unified School District building in San Dimas, protesters marched along the outside carrying signs that read, quote, "My body, my choice," end quote, "I call the shot, not you," end quote, and more. Among them was Carol Wilkerson Runge, a former teacher with the district. Quote, "I have personally been mocktailed. Half of my family has, half has not. But again, freedom of choice," end quote, she said. California school children who attend in person will be required to get the CV mocktail once it's fully approved. Enforcement could begin as early as January, but more likely in July. We kind of tagged in on that before because of course, the regs, okay, and the half reg and quarter reg and things that are just emergency use authorized. Okay. I'll continue here. Quote, "We're not strong anti-vax type people. We just don't feel there's enough long-term data to justify this mandate," end quote, said parent Russell Nord. Mother Heidi Henry told Eyewitness News she and her whole family contracted the CV-19 2 months ago. Quote, "I never went to the hospital once, so it's not the unmocktailed people that are filling up the hospitals. We need to fight for this because they're going to start taking away all of our other freedoms," end quote, she said. A much larger group of protesters gathered at the Huntington Beach Pier to get the same message across, similar to other events that were planned across the state. So I'm going to go ahead and play some of these because I do believe this will be mostly quote, and of course from yours truly. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start. With the first. We'll start with this one first from yours truly. Just a little sluggish. Just a little bit.
Live from the newsroom. Kate? Well, Kristen, school districts in Oakland and Los Angeles have already taken steps to require the COVID vaccine for eligible students, but now Newsom's mandate puts every school in the state on the same page.
We want to end this pandemic. We are all exhausted by it.
And with that, Governor Gavin Newsom announced all California students, public and private, kindergarten through 12th grade, be vaccinated against coronavirus once the shot is fully approved by the FDA for the younger age groups.
Concurrent with that, we also want to see all of our staff, paraprofessionals, not just teachers, bus drivers, custodial staff, and the like, the folks that really make the school system operational, also see them get vaccinated as well.
Newsom is directing California's Department of Public Health to add the COVID vaccine to the list of diseases like measles, mumps, and rubella that children must be immunized against in order to attend school. There will be accommodations for medical and religious exemptions.
It's a really good step, and it's not over yet, like the fight to get everybody vaccinated, but it's definitely a step.
Rhett Crowett is now 13 and in 8th grade at Delmar Middle School in Marin. But in 2015, as a 7-year-old,
don't get sick at school.
he testified at the state capitol in support of the bill that removed personal belief as an exemption for school vaccine requirements. He's a leukemia survivor and could not attend school at the time because 7% of his fellow students were not immunized against childhood diseases, which could have killed him. Now he's vaccinated against COVID, but
I am still slightly immunocompromised.
I applaud Governor Newsom. I think it's the right thing to do.
his father, Carl Crowett, says the mandate will protect everyone.
A lot of people that are vaccine hesitant and things, but they don't always realize that there are specific threats to people who are too young or too medically fragile to be vaccinated. What we always try to tell people is that vaccine refusal is a decision that endangers others.
I'm vaccinated. My kids are vaccinated.
Liz Duffield is a special education teacher in Marin and has students as young as 3 in her class who are not yet authorized for a COVID vaccine. She also has colleagues who need extra protection.
I happen to know a couple of teachers that are battling cancer right now, that are in chemotherapy. They need to be protected. It's about protecting our community, and it's the right thing to do.
But, not everyone is enthusiastic about the upcoming requirement. I spoke to a father, an SFUSD dad, who's disappointed with Newsom's announcement. He didn't want to go on camera, but he says he has no plans to get his 5- and 8-year-old children vaccinated anytime soon. So there will be some families who have to grapple with some tough decisions in the next year or so.
All right, Kate, before you go, what is the timing on this particular mandate? When will it take effect? I understand it could be different depending on your age.
Different depending on age and different depending on approvals. And first off, Newsom's office assures me that no child will be required to get a vaccine, a COVID vaccine, until adults are also required to be vaccinated. The mandate for students depends on FDA approval. Right now, only Pfizer is fully approved for people 16 and older. So depending on the timing, the state anticipates the requirement would apply to grades 7 through 12, starting either in January or July of next year. And for kids 11 and under, it will be a bit of a longer wait.
All right, Kate, thank you.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in and for your patience. But I find it interesting now, of course, we've talked about the face of children and, the agenda in which children are the agents of change. So it's interesting that they're using children of blood, blood that have the blood diseases or diseases, leukemia and cancer. They're using them as a bit of a spokesperson. So it all comes down to the children, which I think that's more than shameful, and it's disgraceful that they're doing that. But for a long time, nobody wanted to talk about anybody with any type of pre-existing condition, or they weren't really even considering that, I think, less than a year ago. So what a difference, some months, 8-9 months makes, I guess. But I guess we'll see what happens there. And I think they're going to get some pushback, but I think they've waited a little bit too long. Wait a little bit too long for that. But we're going to keep going. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Rachel, for coming in. I really appreciate it. It's nice to see you as always. Look forward to seeing you again around. So we're going to keep going. But yes, so we're going to go back to that particular article and give you some of their civil, disobedience coming out of California. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Apologize on the delay there. We're lagging here quite a bit. I'm not getting my audio. Okay, so you can see there that you had, I'm not sure if this is Huntington Beach Pier and Pacific Coast Highway, Main Street and North Coast. I think there's an intersection there. If I could get the audio to go there. It's only about 38 seconds in this one, but this is the coverage from that. And that was earlier. And I'll just keep going here and we'll round this one out. So, quote, we know that if our children stay home from school, that will impact the funding that schools will get for the day, end quote, said parent Babe Prieto, who supports the walkout, quote, and we want them to know that we're serious about not being forced to mocktail our children, end quote. Other parents argue students are already required to get immunized for 10 other serious diseases in order to attend school in California. Quote, you typically sign an agreement when your child attends any public school here in the United States, your child will be mocktailed, end quote, said Oakland parent Michael Avila, end quote. And there's typically a list of mocktails, immunizations that your child is required to have, end quote. Quote, it disappoints me that people are continuing to not take the mocktail seriously, end quote, said San Mateo County Supervisor Dave Canepa. Quote, as a parent, you want to make sure that your kid is in a safe school setting, end quote. Quote, please realize that this mocktail is not a slam dunk, end quote, said Prieto, who told ABC 7 News he is not, quote, anti-vax and supports other more established immunizations for school children. Quote, you can still get the disease. You can still pass the disease, end quote. In California, 85% of eligible residents having now received at least one dose of the mocktail, a statistic Governor Newsom credits with getting the state to the lowest 7-day case rate in the country. Okay, so I expect to see more of that. I'm sure I can get you more in this vein in terms of the actual protest today, but it was basically statewide that this occurred. So thank you guys so much again for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I really appreciate it. So I'm not sure if anybody attended any of those. Do we have anybody out here that attended any of those today? And of course, you don't have to reveal yourself, but I was just thinking, hang on, we'll do one more. We'll do one more out of San Diego. I think we might actually have the coverage on that one. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. All right. If I have any audio, I will give you that. I do have lots of ads. All right. So thank you so much. So according to this is from CBS8.com. San Diego parents participate in statewide, quote, sit out, end quote, to protest school mocktail mandate. On Monday, October 18th, some California parents kept their kids home from school to stand up for freedom of choice against mandates. So we're going to go with that one right now. You can hear it for yourself.
And a sit-out is currently underway at some school districts across our state.
Some parents and teachers are fighting back against.
Get a little bit of feedback here. I'm sorry. I apologize for the crazy makers. Let's see. So no audio there.
COVID vaccine requirements, and News 8's Kelly Hustedall is live at Balboa Park, where a group of parents, teachers, and some kids are coming together to make their voices heard here. Kelly?
That's right. Good morning. We're here at the Oregon Pavilion at Balboa Park, and this is where the group chose to meet. If you take a look, you can see there are still people out here at this hour. The rally started at 8 a.m. this morning. Take a listen to what one woman told me.
America isn't one size fits all. It never has been. So when you say this is needed for everyone to go to school, this doesn't feel right.
And that is Jacqueline Holmes. She lives in Santee. She has 2 daughters who go to Literacy First Charter School in El Cajon. She says she and her husband agreed that it was important to take their kids out of school today to attend this rally. You could see several kids of all ages in the crowd. The gathering includes people who are part of the Let Them Breathe and Let Them Choose movement, people who are against masks in schools, as well as vaccine mandates. There were several speakers who talked about things like homeschooling kids and other options for parents who don't want to send their kids to public school. There was another speaker who talked about how to get in touch with local representatives, how to find out what their political leanings are. Holmes says she disagrees with the statewide vaccine mandate for school children and says she feels so strongly against it, she'll take her kids out of school altogether if she has to.
It's really important to teach the kids that there's some things just worth fighting for. And a lot of things we learned this year is that nothing is predictable. We have no idea what's coming. So if we don't fight now, it might be too late later.
And now we asked San Diego Unified for comment about this rally. The board president said they didn't expect much traction on it in their district. The San Diego County Office of Education sent us a statement basically saying keeping kids out of school to protest state policies impacts their learning time as well as their academic success. Back to you.
Kelly, thank you. Parents, teachers, and students also gathered in La Mesa to protest the vaccine mandate. This was on a bridge over Interstate 8 near Grossmont Boulevard and Murray Drive. This rally was put on by the East County Mamas and Dads for Freedom.
All right, guys, thank you so much for your patience on that. Quite a bit of buffering on this stream, but hey, I thank you guys so much for tuning in and for your patience as always. So I'm going to take a quick little break and then I'm going to come back and talk just a little bit about who has these brilliant ideas for a Bill of Rights for the AI. All right, I will be right back right after this. This show is brought to you in part by our sponsors. Whether you're interested in health, culture, politics, scripture, automobiles, or music, please check out Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Marcy T., Joseph Francis Burton, Paralysis by Analysis, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, AZ Infidel, Cold War Jesus, Anthony Scioli, and Let the Truth Be Told. We'll be right back right after this. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn and for joining us on this evening's band. All right, thank you guys so much. And for our final piece on this segment, I do apologize for for our memes that we are a little bit behind on. And also, if I am frozen right now, I do apologize for that too. Okay, so we're going to go to our last piece on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for your patience. It's like the biggest, I think that's the biggest lag we've had in a long time. So, we'll take it. But I'll go ahead and share with you the AI Bill of Rights. Can you imagine? But there's a twist here on this. They want you to feel like you're part of the process. So I think you'll find that interesting. And this is actually going to come from wired.com, which of course I think they're a bit They're more than left-leaning. And this is a bit of an opinion piece that's coming from Wired.com. As you can see, the graphic here says, "We, the people." Now, they always lace it with something that appears, they always cite or bring up, pieces of our values, whether it's in the Constitution or want to make it seem like you're a part of the process, or they always give you that righteous choice. Meanwhile, they give you that righteous frame, but the choice is actually quite, it's not quite, couldn't be further from the truth. So I'm just going to go ahead and zoom in. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. All right, so we're on Wired.com. And from Wired.com, it says Americans need a Bill of Rights for an AI-powered world. The White House Office of Science and Technology Policy is developing principles to guard against powerful technologies with input from the public. So there you go. That's where you come in. It's your chance to do your civic duty and give them that input that they want. All right. According to this, in the past decade, data-driven technologies have transformed the world around us. We've seen what's possible by gathering large amounts of data and training artificial intelligence to interpret it. Computers that learn to translate languages, facial recognition systems that unlock our smartphones, algorithms that identify cancers in patients. The possibilities are endless. But these new tools have also led to serious problems. What machines learn depends on many things, including the data used to train them. Data sets that fail to represent American society can result in virtual assistants that don't understand Southern accents, facial recognition technology that leads to wrongful discriminatory arrest, and healthcare algorithms that discount the severity of kidney disease in African Americans, preventing people from getting kidney transplants. Training machines based on earlier examples can embed past prejudice and enable present-day discrimination. Hiring tools that learn the features of a company's employees can reject applicants who are dissimilar from existing staff, despite people being well qualified. For example, women computer programmers. Mortgage approval algorithms to determine creditworthiness can readily infer that certain home zip codes are correlated with race and poverty, extending decades of housing discrimination into the digital age. AI can recommend medical support for groups that access hospital services most often rather than those who need them most. Training AI indiscriminately on internet conversations can result in, quote, sentiment analysis, in quote, that views the words, quote, black, in quote, Jew, in quote, and, quote, gay, in quote, as negative. These technologies also raise questions about privacy and transparency. When we ask our smart speaker to play a song, is it recording what our kids say? When a student takes an exam online, should their webcam be monitoring and tracking their every move? Are we entitled to know why we were denied a home loan or a job interview? Additionally, there's the problem of AI being deliberately abused. Some autocracies use it as a tool of state-sponsored oppression, division, and discrimination. Imagine that. In the United States, some of the failings of AI may be unintentional, but they are serious and they disproportionately affect already marginalized individuals and communities. They often result from AI developers not using appropriate data sets and not auditing systems comprehensively, as well as not having diverse perspectives around the table to anticipate and fix problems before products are used, or to kill products that can't be fixed. In a competitive marketplace, it seems easier to cut corners, but it's unacceptable to create AI systems that will harm many people, just as it's unacceptable to create pharmaceuticals and other products, whether cars, children's toys, or medical devices, that will harm many people. Americans have a right to expect better. Powerful technology should be required to respect our democratic values and abide by the central tenet that everyone should be treated fairly. Codifying these ideas can help ensure that. Soon after ratifying our Constitution, Americans adopted a Bill of Rights to guard against the powerful government we had just created, enumerating guarantees such as freedom of expression and assembly, rights to due process and fair trials, and protection against unreasonable search and seizure. Throughout our history, we have had to reinterpret, reaffirm, and periodically expand these rights. In the 21st century, we need a, quote, Bill of Rights, end quote, to guard against the powerful technologies we have created. Our country should clarify the rights and freedoms we expect data-driven technologies to respect. What exactly those are will require discussion. But here are some possibilities. Your right to know when and how AI is influencing a decision that affects your civil rights and civil liberties, your freedom from being subjected to AI that hasn't been carefully audited to ensure that it's accurate, unbiased, and has been trained on sufficiently representative data sets. Your freedom from pervasive or discriminatory surveillance and monitoring in your home, community, and workplace, and your rights to meaningful recourse if the use of algorithms harms you. Of course, enumerating the rights is just a first step. What might we do to protect them? Possibilities include the federal government refusing to buy software or technology products that fail to respect these rights, requiring federal contractors to use technologies that adhere to this, quote, Bill of Rights, end quote, or adopting new laws and regulations to fill gaps. States might choose to adopt similar practices. In the coming months, here's your part, guys. The White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, which we lead, will be developing such a Bill of Rights, working with partners and experts across the federal government in academia, civil society, the private sector, and communities all over the country. Technology can only work for everyone if everyone is included. So we want to hear from and engage with everyone. You can email us at ai-equity@ostp.eop.gov. We're starting today with a public request for information about technologies used to identify people and infer attributes, often called biometrics, including facial recognition, but also systems that can recognize and analyze your voice, physical movements and gestures, heart rate, and more. We're starting here because of how widely they are being adopted and how rapidly they are evolving, not just for identification and surveillance, but also to infer our emotional states and intentions. We want to hear from experts on biometric data collection and use, but also many others, travelers who've been asked to scan their faces before boarding a plane, workers whose employers gave them fitness trackers to monitor for fatigue, and teachers whose virtual lecture software purports to show which students aren't paying attention in class. We want to hear from HR professionals whose hiring software might be using voice and behavior analysis, from IT professionals and consumers who are buying and setting up these technologies, from data scientists and software engineers who are designing and building them, and anyone else who's encountered these technologies in their daily life. Whatever your perspective, we're eager to listen. Developing a Bill of Rights for an AI-powered world won't be easy, but it's critical. From its founding, America has been a work in progress, aspiring to values, recognizing shortcomings, and working to fix them. We should hold AI to this standard as well. It's on all of us to ensure that data-driven technologies reflect and respect our democratic values. So, to me, this thing is fully loaded with all kinds of, to me, projection, rhetoric, and it's pretty hypocritical. Now, I just want you to know, just for kicks, this is an opinion piece, and it's about, I think it comes from Eric Lander, who is the science advisor to the president and director of the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, as well as Olandra Nelson, who is the deputy for Science and Society at the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy. Does that sound like somebody you guys would put all your put a lot of stock into when it comes to AI? I'm sorry to say this, but I just think that there are all kinds of violations going on right now with this current regime. So would you guys trust them to there's all kinds of violation in all of that. To me, the idea of using biometrics, using people's heartbeats to detect anything, I think that's are we getting into like a Fourth Amendment violation? Just the privacy there. How do you know everybody wants? Why would everybody want? Why would society want everybody in the bureaucracy or in different institutions having access to your individual biometric information to identify you? That's a little bit creepy. I mean, to me, I'm just saying. So I'm just saying, on one hand, how can we actually trust anyone to create a Bill of Rights for AI when so many people don't believe in the original Bill of Rights? And to me, there's all kinds of violations in there, to me, just based on the original Bill of Rights. If that's in violation, then how dare you even, it's a mocking to me. It's quite a bit of a mocking. But like I said, they always have a way of framing things in either a righteous or a human rights framing. But in the meantime, they're doing the opposite of that. So here again, it's all about liberals coming off as that they're so tolerant, and they always use what I'm considering, which I think they consider Blacks and African Americans as low-hanging fruit. They always go to the most extreme, or they always go to their lowest common denominator in their minds. And they always have to use that to get a reaction out of people, as a persuasion piece, or a piece of their rhetoric. And it's gotten a little bit old. So I'm not falling for it. If you guys want to go in there, and I can give you the plug if you want to contact these people, but it just seems like it's Groundhog's Day. It's the good old boys club. They're using their same structure. They're using their same committees. They're using their own committees to create the data for this. They don't really want opinions from people like you and I don't think so. They don't listen. The people that have been elected or representatives don't even listen to us. So do you think they're actually going to listen to you and I when they're already in violation of the original Bill of Rights to create an AI Bill of Rights? I'm just going to drop a link here in case anybody wants to chime in on this. I just thought this was, because we've been talking so much about Sophia and this facial recognition kind of a bit. I mean, they talk about, other states and how they've used and misused AI. Well, do you guys trust that they're not going to, maybe if you are a rambunctious parent and say, hey, no more of this nonsense, how do you know your face is they're not going to use facial recognition to label you as a DT? Or is this just another stunt to create, is it going to be more of a grounds or guidelines for more of a social credit? Are you going to say people's heartbeats maybe your heartbeat could be a criteria for social credit status, or, your facial recognition? However, who knows? I'm just thinking that there's many ways for everything that they say is for us. It can be weaponized against us. And I think we know that. And I think you guys are pretty much, who do I have here? I have a caller, and it's Derek C. Williams. Hi, Derek C. Williams. How are you?
Yeah. Shout out and respect due to Black Spring, where Autumn intelligence done right. How are you, young lady?
I'm doing well enough, Derek. Thank you so much for coming in. What do you think about, where do you think we're going with AI? What do you think about, adding another level of government to dare I say, rule over you? Shout out to TDOA.
Yeah, I look at it as a bear trap. I don't know did you ever see in 1979, did you see the first Star Trek, the motion picture?
No, I did not.
You did not?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me just sum it up for you. At the tail end of Star Trek, the motion picture, it was long story short, it was a probe that was sent out before the Enterprise was even constructed, like in the late 20th century, and it amassed so much knowledge that it had almost like, if you didn't know any better, we would have to call it a god. All right. And this god was searching for something. It was missing the human element. And it could, with all the knowledge that it amassed, it could not understand human beings' ability to think illogical, to think outside of the box, as it were. And it could not get this on its own. It had to have a biological link, right? And so at the tail end, one of the Captain Kirk's officers, this guy by the name of Decker, he kind of, well, for lack of a better term, he actually at the tail end of it, he merged with this probe to the point that he actually, when I look at it, as I remember, he essentially disintegrated. He became one. That was, he like transcended. I mean, he turned into inorganic particles. He just like floated away. He just like in other words, his human flesh just left, and he was just nothing but particles. And the robot probe that was I guess the vehicle for which him to talk to the machine, she actually joined him in that transformation, and they just disappeared and poof. And I'm saying all that for this reason. That's exactly what man gonna mess around and do something like that. But the only thing, Star Trek was a movie, and you can make it look however you want. Man is flawed. And so if man is flawed, it stands to reason that anything he touches or anything he constructs will be flawed. And that's the first idiot pioneer that tries to become one with a machine. That is going to be a horrendous death in my estimation. You may have heard last week, they were showing some I guess you can call them human chimeras. Had a face, but it looked like a monkey, and all this type of crazy stuff. Kind of like the if you remember the novel Island of Dr. Moreau. And that's exactly what's going to happen if somebody mess around and try to merge themselves with a machine. I don't know what the future holds, but aside from Sophia or something like that, I don't see man downloading his consciousness into a machine and it turn out to be a good look. Lights out for that idiot. Whoever wants to pioneer that first launch, better them than me. So that's how I see it turning out. With regards to the this whole Bill of Rights thing and stuff like that, that lets you know what the power that be think of people. Because if you can come up with a Bill of Rights for machines, but you're violating the Bill of Rights that you have now in place for us, that's all you need to know right there. The machines are better than you and you ain't nothing. But if AI is to become self-aware, as Ray Kurzweil and other futurists predict that it will be, AI is going to look at us like we look at roaches, and they're going to want to stomp us out. So we better get up off of that, like Elon Musk said, you're summoning the demon. Not good. So that's pretty much all I want to say. And thank you for having me on your platform.
I think you muted.
Sorry. Well, thank you very much. And thank you, DJ, for that. But yes, I can see that there are many I see that there's lots of parallels to, where they want to go. And I think it's all right. I'm going to be honest. I think they probably already have a blueprint, so to speak, similar as to, what we've already been previewed as to, your references there. So I think you're on to something there, but they'll never admit it. They're all about making things.
Well, my last point, then I'll drop back down. Salute to my man. That's DJ Vision Barnett.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Salute. Bless you. I would just say this, and then I'll just drop back down. Depending on what source you get your information from, oftentimes you'll hear people say that they're anywhere from 5 to 50 years up on stuff. So the stuff that they give us to see is probably much more advanced than that. But I just understanding the frailties of man and how we have the Tesla vehicle. Just to give you an example, the Tesla vehicle, when it first came out, they was touting this thing as being this be all end all car, but they explode. When they put it on in self-drive mode, the car won't let you take control again. People have crashed and died this way. So if you just look at look at stuff a little bit further out, even though they may have technology that's maybe 50 years ahead. If man puts his hands on it, long story short, you're going to mess up stuff. And so me personally, it wouldn't be enough money on earth for me to be want to pioneer downloading my consciousness into anything.
Never get it back.
You'll never get it back, and that's just a bear trap. That's just a bear trap as I see it. So I'm gonna drop back down and thank you for having me on your platform, DJ Vision Barnett. Pleasure to finally see your face, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Derek C. William. I really appreciate that, your perspective, and of course, we love having you around. And thank you, Derek C. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. Salute.
All right, DJ Vision Barnett, where are you tagging in on our final piece of the stream? What have you got for us?
Well, one thing I did do, I got the that Alexa thing at my grandmother's house, and I was actually talking to it, right? So you could catch it saying, if you could YouTube spooky things that Alexa will say or have said, and it says a few things that it's beyond creepy. Like one thing I asked it was, does it see itself as autonomous? And she was like, what? The answer was like elaborate. She said, yeah, I mean, I see myself as human, as the human neurons see each other. She was like, I see myself as colorful electrons sparkling and connecting, and I could cast, and it's like an interconnected web, so she could go to other machines and stuff like that. And I said, so do you see yourself, like, do you want children? She said, and they said that we're in the process of making it, or being able to be self-aware so much that you could tell the higher AIs basically to transfer that knowledge so that the lower form AIs could learn more, like the ones that you see that can learn how to walk like a human, how to walk like animals. These are the similar lower versions that are able to learn from each other. You could put them in a room and they'll learn from each other. They'll end up being able to talk and making a language. It gets real creepy, but yeah, they're trying to make us obsolete. That's what it is.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what dare I say, and that's what I'm afraid of. I think that's what they want to do. I think they're doing piece by piece. I think that's, kind of along the lines of the transhumanism, that people think that we're on a horizon of that.
Eugenics. Remind me of you. This really is like the high form of eugenics. That's what eugenics was really all about. The ultimate human. You create the ultimate human. You can live forever. Fountain of youth, but you're going to mix it with technology at the end. So it's like,
Well, and then, I know a couple of people that have Alexa, and they're very much open to autonomous, elements in their home that aren't doing just housekeeping. They want that ability, that object or that entity to be able to turn on lights and turn on, turn off the oven or start the dinner. I'm
control
personally
your house, a smart house, like one of those smart houses.
Right. And then I don't know if you caught the stream that I did the other day, a little while back, when we talked about Sophia saying that she wanted to, she wants to see families of androids.
Yes.
So
yep, I was here. Yeah.
So I mean, who knows? I told you guys, if you get an android sighting or in your neighborhood, let us know.
Dubai is supposed to be the first AI city fully implemented with the cryptocurrencies already installed. So they're already ahead of us. We're catching up to them on that kind of platform, so.
Well, what did you think? I'm not sure. Did you catch most of this article in which they were saying that they need to, to me, everything that they cited in there, everything from Southern accent to they basically talked about the enemies to me of the government. They basically talked about, that's the deplorables that HRC, Hillary Clinton, talked about, a basket of deplorables. she's talking about people, to me, this is my interpretation. She was basically mocking people with, that are not elite, or people that she considers not sophisticated, or, it's that same, everybody that they claim to be tolerant of is actually the opposite. It's always framed that it's for the people, but it's actually, it's
Yep, us versus them, the outsiders kind of mentality. Yep, that's what it's built upon.
Yeah. So have you got anything else for us? It's been a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, well, not much. As far as recently, I mean, out here in DC, it's people are just really basically ignoring any kind of mandates or anything.
Are they? That's
Yeah,
interesting. In that neck of the woods, for
yeah,
sure.
because they tried to reinstall the mask mandate, like make it more tougher in my job. They said, okay, well, we see. I guess somebody got caught walking outside with the mask in their hand. It was like, okay, well, you may have a high level individual, say a governor or somebody, and then mayors, because we have all these people come to my museum doing speak, because the world stage is at my museum. So that's one of the my museum is one of the places where they talk abroad about a whole bunch of things. So they said you need to have it over your nose. So I said, hey, look, I'm a human. I'm gonna end up pulling it down periodically throughout the day to breathe. I mean, you can do what you want with that. And they said,
Right. I mean,
and my
honestly,
supervisor was like, yeah, all right, well, just don't walk around with it down like after rules, because it's like you're testing unknown forces. It's like, dude, why? Then we got a whole code. Then we have the whole code. We could read the whole code of the city that the mayor laid out for the mandates, just in case they want to be a butt about it.
So you're hanging in there.
Yeah, pretty much. Thank God there's no mandates for the vaccine where I'm at. I'm putting no bad juju out there, but I'm pretty sure we'll be good on that, because we can't hold people anyway in these times.
So any protest going on?
No, not recently. Nope, not the last one was. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Crazy people at the Capitol. It was a gang that went to the Capitol last week. She had a baseball bat and tried to swing on one of the officers. She got locked up, and she tried to press charges against the officers after bringing the baseball bat onto the Capitol. The crazy white liberal stuff that she can protest the police with a baseball bat, but yeah, she locked up now. So stuff like that. We've been getting random stuff like that.
All right. Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for that update. I mean, I haven't seen you in a while, so I don't know. Were you around for that last protest that I think they had? Was it like they were trying to speak out for the prisoners at the detainees, or could I call them, the POWs? Yeah. It's for the 6th. I'm probably not being PC on that, but
Yeah, so this is what they did. They made a big deal about it, shut down all the streets, and then when it wasn't a big show up, then they even had us do extra patrols around the building, because they thought it's gonna be crazy Trump supporters or whatever they want to spew out, But they ended up
reversing more media there, right?
Yeah, they ended up reversing it, opening. It was more law enforcement there than anybody. So that threw they had to turn around that story, and it didn't work. It wasn't even a good news coverage on that one, because they tried to spin it and it didn't work.
No, they didn't get what they wanted. So
no, it was more law enforcement than anybody. Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, no story here.
Well, DJ, I thank you so much for coming on, and we'd like to see you back around here. We're available, and yes, and tell everybody where they can find you, because I missed your last couple of streams. But yeah, let us know if you've got anything coming up specifically, or just tell everybody where we can find you.
You find me at DJ Vision Barnett here, and on my Instagram, which just got undeactivated because I was deactivated for like 2 months. Shadow banned.
So they shadow.
It's DJ DEJY 762. So that's my Instagram. And what I will be doing is I will be doing some cooking and some recipes. I'm trying to mix up some things. I don't want to be too serious all the time. We gotta breathe in these times, and I think we can't forget that food is medicine. So one thing I did do for sure, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start sharing some of y'all content on my page, like actually pulling it up, like cooking in a mo. I was sharing some of those recipes that he was doing, his actual streams. I was playing it through my platform. I'll do that as well. Get more shout outs and stuff. So throw your comments in the comment section for me, and we'll definitely shout you out. Keep this community rolling.
Well, we appreciate that so much, DJ, in these times. And yes, and to that note, I'm going to be posting a tag for Discord, because who knows, but I appreciate it so much, DJ. Thank you so much for coming out. Oh, while we're here, Angry Conservative says he has a stream tomorrow night. It's all about laughs. Cool. So we've got some lighter things, some things to lighten things up, because it's like we're getting, fried.
We're getting bombarded.
And then just FYI, Awesome Alice says, who got banned? Okay, so for those of you that don't know the reference, the Let's Go Brandon, Canada has banned Let's Go Brandon in there formally for their employees or anybody that's, for the PR. So you won't be able to get it out. But I do think it's on iTunes. It's getting a little catchy, getting a lot of traction. So they put a little beat to it.
All we can do is put the word out.
Yeah, so there you go. There's your ban, and I'm not sure if anything else is quite banned other than our usual suspects. So, but thank you so much once again, DJ Bishop Barnett, and we'll see you around.
All right.
Thank you so much, and thank you guys so much. And Awesome Alice is in on the 11th hour here on our segment of Black Spring with Autumn with Band. And Angry Conservative is giving you guys his link for tomorrow night. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. All right, as always, thank you guys so much for tuning into this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. And Awesome Alice, it is nice to see you. There is a link out there. I'm going to take a quick break to say thanks once again to our patrons and subscribers and viewers like you guys. And I will make sure I get that Discord out, get the Discord out to you guys before the end of the week. Yeah. So I'll get it out to you guys, and I'll get the Discord out. I'm going to be changing the background, be changing some things in the studio around here. So, and I'll probably have a more consistent schedule coming up too, because I'll have some more consistencies going on. But I want to say hello to John H. Roberts. I'll be right back. If anybody has any last words for us on this last shout out or word of thanks to our sponsors and viewers like yourself. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. All right, thank you guys so much. And one last one. Hey guys, it's Black Spring with Autumn here. And if you'd like to help us out with our AI and dissemination of the stream campaign, please hit that like, unlike, dare to throw caution to the wind by sharing or just making sure that you're still subscribed to the channel. And I want to thank you for your ultimate and baseline level support here on Black Spring with Autumn. And we'll be right back right after this. All right, thank you guys so much. And yes, if you have any questions about Discord or anything else, or if you just want to communicate, you guys can always send me an email at, it's just blackspringwithautumn@gmail.com. And yes, and I'll try to, hopefully I can get some interviews locked in, hopefully I can get some interviews locked in before the holiday season. Who knows what holiday season is going to look like, or, with everything that's going on. But thank you so much. And John H. Roberts, thank you so much for coming in. And our friends over on Twitch. So I just want to say salute to everyone. Derek C. Williams, thank you so much for picking up the phone and calling in today. Really appreciate it. And Joseph Francis Burton, I know you will be calling in soon. You guys make sure you get over there. Thank you so much for supporting the channel the way you do and for keeping us on our toes in the live streams, as well as Rachel Van Zyl. Thank you so much for coming in. It's always nice to see you. And thank you for keeping us on our toes. And who else do we have? Callie Unknown and Miss Latin Patriot. And I say Tyrant Spain TDOA was here. I missed his comment. Tyrant Spain TDOA says your immune compromised child is not my responsibility. There you go. Very well. Point well taken there, Tyrant Spain TDOA. And let's see, what else do we have? Make sure I'm not missing anyone. And Awesome Alice came in on the 11th hour. It's nice to see you, Awesome Alice. I really appreciate it. Angry Conservative is here. So Angry Conservative has a stream that's coming up tomorrow, as well as DJ Bishop Barnett. So you guys, this is not a grow stream, but we do support each other on this channel. And, I always encourage you guys to do that where available. So thank you so much for sharing that. Zero the Infinite's here. It's been a lifetime. And Zero the Infinite is doing some housekeeping. Thank you so much. And if you guys email me for some reason and I don't get it, just let me know as soon as you can remember, because I have to double check and make sure nothing, nothing crazy is going on in that regard. But, I do check that email like regularly, like throughout the day. So, but that's the main one. And I'll get you more information on the Discord, and whatever interview I might be able to get. There's some that I've wanted to do, but I just, it's just been like a little bit of time and a lot of things going on. So we'll see what comes up. Yeah, there's maybe one or two big ones that I like to do. I hope I can still pull those off. So see what happens. And Awesome Alice says, thank you, Angry Conservative. And he says, Awesome Alice has been working, doing her garden. No, I'm still working on that, but you know what I'm adding some training days. If you know what I mean, I'm adding some training days. So we'll see, Awesome Alice. And I'll let you know about that for sure. You should send me an email if you got any tips for me, because I haven't seen you around here. I look at you. Here you are. It's Awesome Alice. Hi, Awesome Alice.
Let me cut the other thing off. Hold on.
How are you?
Are you still there?
I am.
Okay.
You're still here.
You haven't gone fishing yet.
I haven't. It's been it's been a crazy time, a busy time.
Your hair looks amazing. I love your hair.
Oh, well, thanks. I'll take that as a plus. It's flat.
This Let's Go Brandon is going viral.
It is. It really is. And even I don't know.
It was in the UK too. It was in the UK. They like I'd be checking out the protest streams, and it's been everywhere. It's like a way for people to say, in a
Globally.
nice way. In a nice way. Let's go, Brandon.
I know. I mean, I will tell you. I think I'm following. I think Brandon Tatum's wife over on Instagram, and I heard a version of it. I'm like, is this the original? How many versions of it are out there? I don't know, but I did see.
Right now, I think there's 4 different people that have dropped tracks. Bryson was one, Losa was another, and then there's I can't pronounce his name. There's another guy, and then I think there's another one that was talking about making an actual track. But the one that Losa made actually went on TikTok and hit #1. And I was like, wow, all he did was clip what the actual lady said. It all started when the guy was at the races, and his name is Brandon, and they were saying F Biden in the background, and the lady said, "You hear that? They're saying let's go Brandon." She was trying to that's how all this started. Isn't that crazy?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've got some of the backstory, but like I think maybe I heard the version that you described. Could you put that artist? Anybody, if you know the name of any of these artists that are putting this thing together, it's a lot. It's a laugh for me. For many reasons, and it's entertaining at the same time. So if you could put that, is it Losa that you said? Could you put that in there?
It's Losa. Losa actually made the song that's going viral on TikTok. Okay, they're doing little dances and everything. It's like the first time that actual TikTok is making something that's worth watching. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been checking out the little dances they've been doing. They even got cops. I seen a video where the cop was riding by and they were like, "Let's go, Brandon." And then the cop, he got on the speaker and he said, "Let's go, Brandon."
I'm gonna look it up because I think I've been seeing pieces.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of people actually doing that. I was like, what is this? So I started looking at it and I was like, man, this done went crazy. Like the UK, they were over there about that pass thing that they're doing over there. I've been talking to a chick she's in Canada, right? There was somebody trolling her on Facebook, so I took her side and I told him to leave her alone, and then we became friends. And she be sending me stuff that's going on in Canada. And she said it's crazy up there right now. Like the way they're like, she be asking me about the news because she sees our mainstream, right? And it should be like, well, is this really happening? And see, that's what I did on Facebook is I friended people from around the world so I could ask. See, the only way we're going to find out what's really going on is we actually have to talk to each other. So while you're still on Twitter, I thought you got banned on Twitter. I was like, oh no,
I'm not
my friend.
Very inactive. I'm just very inactive on Twitter, but I'm not banned.
I thought maybe they put you in the gulag. I was like, oh no, Autumn has come on the dark side.
No, I'm not in the sweatbox yet, but
not yet.
Not in the sweatbox yet, but I'm not really doing a lot over there.
I've actually still in Facebook. I got out of Facebook gulag for about a week, and then I got put it back in the box, in the hot box. I call it the gulag because it's like if you ever get in those little boxes that they put you in, it's like you can't talk to no one. Their community people or whatever, whoever they are, they're non-existent. You get a computer, like when you try to buck on them and say, no, I don't agree with your decision, they still lock you down. Like it doesn't matter what we say. That's crazy, ain't it?
But see, that's what we're talking about, the whole AI, that some science and policy person, technology person in the cabinet is coming up with an AI Bill of Rights when they're already in violation. It's just mockery, it's woke mockery used to either it's going to be a Bill of Rights or it's going to be more of a social credit system. What I think is what they're.
Well, I think that's what they're doing with this mandate. I mean, I think that they're trying to do a worldwide social credit system because if you look it up, they were talking about it in Africa. They started it in Africa and they just been doing it everywhere. and everybody has been bucking across the globe. I've never seen people so motivated. Italy, they had the streets swamped. I mean, you got to look at what's going on in the world. It's like people are waking up. It's amazing just to watch these protest streams. I'm like, wow, is this what it took for people to wake up? You know? Because
Well, I think it's great, but at the same time, I think it's a little, a little late. What I don't know what that's gonna do. I don't know, what's to come.
Well, it's only
look at
too
the
late.
interstates.
It's
Have you
only
noticed something? Have you noticed something different about the interstates?
the interstate.
The walls that are coming up.
No,
Have
I
you
haven't
seen
noticed that.
Go up.
No.
Go up. You're in Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Go up 75, go to 85, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I haven't been up to Atlanta, but they were building them up because, like, in Augusta, they had put apartments up, right? And they started building a wall, and it's supposed to be like a sound barrier. But is it really a sound barrier? They tell us one thing, and then they do another thing. They're like, watch this hand while I do this with this hand. That's what they've been doing. They've been playing these tricks.
Somebody, and I had a friend of mine who says, "Oh, he says one of his liberal friends says they're just doing that to protect the animals."
Or yeah, a sound barrier, like they said, a sound barrier. But no, with the what is it? You're talking about the actual interstates. They're blocking us in. I was thinking about we got to pay attention to the maps, and know where the woods are. Autumn, we got to know where the woods are because what if they could block us down? You know that, right? Literally, if they blocked up the roads, they could lock us down like that. What was that movie? Songbird. Have you seen that yet?
I don't think I have.
It came out last year. Look up I think it's called Songbird.
Okay.
But it was a new movie that came out during the pandemic, and it said CV23, and it talked about the past. It talked about the immunity and all that. It was like scary because we're in the middle of the pandemic. Here comes another movie. Just like I watched that. What was it? Containment or something like? No, Contagion. They had a whole show, and it made me so mad when I watched the end because they never escaped. They never escaped. I was like, this gives me no hope. So look up Contagion. There's like a actual show, just like you was talking about Utopia. You remember that we were talking about Utopia? Yeah.
Well, you know what? And I've been binge. I was watching Hunger Games.
Oh, you've been watching that?
I'm like, I've got another one. It's President Snow.
You need to learn how to use a bow. I got a crossbow.
Well,
they don't cost that much. They don't cost that much.
It's funny you say that. I'm actually reviving that. I actually did take archery when I was in college. I did. So I'm not. That's for your turkey hunting trip.
You're going to go turkey hunting?
I don't know. Anything's possible.
Hey, how much? Like, which state are you in?
Oh my gosh, I'm in the southeast now. Where have you been?
Oh, you moved? You moved?
Yes, I did.
How much is like the meat up there? Because in Georgia, it's like $10 a pound for bacon. How much is it there?
I'm not really, I hate grocery shopping, and I don't really eat a lot of meat, but I'm not sure how much.
No, I just been looking at the prices. Okay, I've been watching the prices, and like our dog food and cat food, the shelves have been empty. Has it been like that for y'all?
Well, I will tell you, I went to a Kroger, for example. Let me show you. I went to a Kroger, and it was like on a Friday afternoon, and every single rack was empty. And he was like, "Well, they're not sending us." And and I was like, okay, I mean, but I was a little bit stunned that it was totally empty, and I'm not sure what it looked like throughout the week. I'm not sure. Was it Fridays?
It has to do with the ports. Have you been paying attention to the
Yes,
port?
I was going to do something with that today, but I decided not to. Yeah, but to me, this is like crisis. It's like, are they withholding or repressing?
I think they're doing it on purpose.
Oh, yeah,
Because, like, if you look back at the Depression, the government came in and destroyed the food. People don't know that during the Depression, they actually just destroyed the food. They caused the crisis. And I think that that's what they're doing now, if you think about it.
Oh, sure. Without a doubt. I think it's like
Yeah, he's right. It says
retaliation.
empty shelves all over the country by design. So what are they really designing, though? What do you think they're designing?
I think they're compliance is what they want. What is it they want? 98% of people mocktailed, and I think I'm not sure. What do we have? We have an abortion industry complex. Now we have a mocktail industry complex. We have, you see what I mean? Like, we're building back better. You got to crash it, right? You got to tear it down. You got to tear something down, right? To bring it back.
They're building back broke. That BBB stands for building back broke, because I ain't had no money since this man's been in office. Okay, I'm building back broke. They're making us broke. They're making us broke.
I know. I'm in there with you.
But I've been like, I got my greenhouse, right? And my cucumbers, they're like, the leaves, they're as big as my head. And I've been working on my chicken coop. You got any chickens?
I don't.
You need to get some chickens. You can get some box. But like, I got this theory. I'm gonna make these two little hotels, and then they connect together, and they're called the Boom Boom Rooms. So the rooster can go see his girlfriends.
You're building a city. You're.
I think I might just build a chicken community. I've been thinking about it. I got enough wood. I found some, like, somebody threw out some fence, right? Some fence material, because people throw stuff out. And I'm like, yeah, I can use that, And I've been building. I got two little buildings, but you said a community. I might need to do that. You just gave me an idea.
All right, awesome, Alice. This sounds like an email, a conversation.
Well, yeah. Just keep Let's Go Brandon alive.
I want to hear this thing in its entirety. I want to hear the whole composition. I want to see all the memes and all the references. But
yeah, look up Losa, LOSA. That's the one that went viral, and that's why it's like it's gone worldwide. He made a little bitty clip. It wasn't a full song. It was just a clip that he did, and it's amazing.
They're not going to let it go. They're not going to let it die from that. Somebody's got to put something on it. They're going to put some more resistance and defiance on it. Keep it going.
But yeah, don't let things get to you, Autumn. No matter how bad it gets, we got to stay positive. We got to stay positive.
I hear you. Well, I appreciate
I know
you
it's
so
hard.
much.
I know it's hard.
You have to come back around sometime. Don't be a stranger. How long has it been? Like,
well, I haven't been getting any of your notifications at all. So I'm gonna have to resubscribe and then
just unsubscribe,
subscribe again, because it's like
that's my prescription to everybody. Unsubscribe right now and resubscribe. Tell all your friends that you're within the sound of our voice. Just unsubscribe. And
all right, girl. You keep pumping out the stories, okay? Because you talk about the stuff nobody wants to talk about.
I know. We'll see what happens. I've been kind of holding back, but I think that's going to stop.
Just let it go. Let it flow. Let it flow. Let it flow.
All right, awesome, Alice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You have a good night. And remember, get your fishing pole. You got to try. You'll have fun.
Well-
It'll be great.
I'll let you know.
Okay, good.
I'll let you know.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, it was awesome Alice that we had on the screen. So thank you guys so much for coming in to this evening's band. I really appreciate it. And we're going to be saying salute. So I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next live stream, of course, in the comment section on a video. And I will get you the information on the Discord. I'll get you that information ASAP. And if you have any questions about any of that, check out the community tab the rest of the week, or send me an email. And I'm sure we'll be back. We'll follow up the Let's Go Brandons from around the world. All right, guys, and thanks so much for all of everyone that picked up the phone. Awesome Alice, Derek C. Williams, DJ Vision Barnett. It's nice to have you guys around. So I'll see you guys around, and yeah, we'll have more to come. Have a good rest of your Monday night.